Alright, so as you know, I had a midlife crisis in Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy XII, you have to pick your job, and once you pick it, you're stuck with it.
That's it.
There's no going back. So I text my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, I don't know. I'm having a midlife crisis here." She was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" I was like, "Final Fantasy. I don't know what to pick." She just laughed at me. Just got an LOL. She doesn't get it. Yeah, exactly. So you know where I went to the one place everyone goes to get answers.
What's that?
Church.
Wow.
So went there. Did as the Romans do. I just followed one guy. Made sure whatever he did, I did.
Makes sense.
At the very end, I walked up to the priest and I was like, "Father, I have a real dilemma on my hands." And he was like, "Oh, well, let's talk about it."
Let me hear my stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe I can guide you through this situation. And I was like, "I'm in Final Fantasy XII and I need to pick a job. But once I pick it, that's it.
You no turning back.
Yeah, if I don't want Vaughn to be a knight and I pick him to be a knight,
It's over.
it's up. Yeah, he's a knight, and I have to live with that decision. What if he doesn't make enough income with that job for his family? You know what I mean? So this is a lot on me. And you know what he says to me? It's time for the enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my god!
Saw it coming, and I'm still disappointed. I
What
wanted to know what he said. You're a jerk.
Good morning, Vietnam!
It's nice.
I'm trying new things to open the
I
podcast.
don't like it. I don't
No?
like it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's from The Office.
Right. Good morning, Vietnam!
Well,
I mean, I know it's from Good Morning Vietnam, Robin Williams, but I watched an episode of The Office the other day where he tried that in front of a bunch of people and no one reacted. I was like, that's awkward.
So you don't think anyone's going to react?
Probably not. Probably not. I'm still waiting for my Tom Cruise question to be answered. You jerks.
What is up, everyone? I am one of your hosts, Will Zabo of The Enthusiast. Alongside me, the man who... I'm that guy today.
Ooh, I'll introduce
Yeah.
myself. Jesse Nazario over here, the second host, that this time remembered to silence his phone when host number one, William Zabo, did not, who always screams at me for it. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. Not so good to be on this end, does it?
No, it does
I was
not.
just listening back to our first episode when my phone went off for the first time. You were like, the tone in your voice switched when you're like, "Come on!" Now you know how it feels, buddy. It feels like it'd be on this end.
No, it doesn't. I feel I'm upset with myself. Disappointed,
All right.
should I say.
How's your week been?
You know what? It hasn't been too bad. Work, like usual, but I've actually been playing a lot of Final Fantasy. I can't seem to put it down. We'll talk about that.
We will talk about it a lot, and you'll hear from us and what we think of this game.
Yeah. I saw Spider-Man.
Son of a bitch.
Did you see Spider-Man?
I have not got to see it. Stupid kids keep coming out of nowhere, man. I have so many of them.
Why won't anyone take them?
Yes, exactly. Like, I keep getting the dilemma. Either somebody takes the baby, and I'm stuck with the two oldest, or somebody takes the two oldest, and I'm stuck with the baby. And I never want to be that guy to bring a baby to the theaters, because I hate those people.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So now I've got to see it. I was going to go see it tonight. Still debating whether I'm going to see it tonight or not.
Okay. We'll save the spoiler cast then for next week.
Good.
Because I planned for a spoiler cast today, but,
I am very
So-
sorry. I attempted really hard, and then I went to my wife and I said, "Hey, I got the podcast coming up Sunday. It's okay if I see Spider-Man by myself Friday?" And she gave me that typical woman. "Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. Why don't you do that?" I was like, "Wow, I'm not falling into that trap."
yeah, instantly knew.
Yes, she's still mad at me for James Bond, and she doesn't even like James Bond,
Whew.
and she loves Spider-Man, so I'm not going to fall for that one.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll give my impressions when we get to that on the news. How about your week? How's it been going?
It was good. I worked a lot. I picked up Final Fantasy Thursday, so I've been playing that a lot. Before that, I hadn't really been playing much except for a little bit of Switch here and there and Zelda. Besides that, I didn't really do much but play Final Fantasy. Thursday, though, I had to go to a training. That was really, really far out of state. And I stopped at this seafood restaurant. I can't remember the name of it, but the food was unbelievable.
Really?
But the issue is, my two coworkers I went with got actual seafood. I still got a burger. I still like seafood that much. And that's my question to you. I still very much like the burger. I thought the food was really good there. Did I not live life by not getting seafood, though? At a famous seafood spot.
Probably.
Should I have gotten seafood?
I think so.
He judged me
but
so bad.
At the same time, as your friend, even if I wasn't your friend, if you don't like seafood, I can understand. Because I'm the type of person, if I'm spending my own money, I don't want to risk buying something that I might not like.
Exactly.
I'd much rather get the safe bet. Like when I go to a new restaurant sometimes, you look at the menu, what do I end up getting? Chicken strips and french fries.
It's safe.
Yeah, it's the safe go-to.
I'm gonna tell a little story. It might make you a little sad, so grab the tissues. When I was in 4th grade, we had a class trip to Red Lobster because I was at a broke school. So they took us to Red Lobster for a class trip because we were learning about the ocean. And one of my fellow students, named Lewis, I'll never forget this, ordered shrimp because he had seen his parents eat shrimp. So he's like, I'm going to eat shrimp. And he's eating it. And he's like, this is disgusting. I hate all of this. I'm not eating this. So the teacher came over and was like, what's wrong, Lewis? Why aren't you eating your shrimp? And he's like, it's nasty. It tastes funny. And she's like, that's because you never took the shell off. He was eating it with the shell and the arms, all that still on it. And it's like, so I don't trust seafood. It's too much work. I don't like it. Like,
yeah. I can understand that. I love seafood.
I'll do tilapia. What's not? Is that it?
Tilapia's pretty good.
My wife cooks that. I'll eat that.
My mom makes tilapia.
I ate crabs once. It was way too much work. I was like, no.
I like crabs. You know, I really like crab cakes.
You're a crab cake.
Ooh, they're really good too.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's my week. Final Fantasy and.
Yeah, my week's been pretty centered around just Final Fantasy. Well, but you know, let's just dive into
the news. Ooh, that worked out better than last week. I was so upset with us.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, it's been a good 30 episodes. We've gotten it on cue.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen once in a while. We'll slip up, but I blame Ryan for that one.
What a freaking jerk.
Jerk.
He's probably not even going to listen to this episode.
No, because he's not on it. That's right. Just kidding, Ryan.
Listen to last week's only. Man, I sound so good. No, I'm joking. He was great. Matt Reeves. So we have some DC news.
He's the director of the Planet of the Apes.
He is director of both of the 2 latest Planet of the Apes movies, Dawn and War.
He also has a sweet mustache.
He does. So he is going to be directing the solo Batman movie.
Correct.
As we know. He actually just came out and said that he is not going to use the script that Ben Affleck and Geoff Johns wrote.
Yes. Come up with something new.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with this movie?
Well, at first I went through many emotions. Denial, depression, acceptance eventually, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I feel like a director is going to want to do his own vision. So, obviously, Ben Affleck wrote that in mind of I was directing it. So it might have that Ben Affleck-isms that Matt Reeves just doesn't want. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, as much as I like Ben Affleck's movies, they all kind of do follow that same formula.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From The Town to Argo and Gone Baby Gone, they all have them same angles, scenes. Like, he always has that over-the-shoulder, depressed angle, like, you know what I mean? So, like I said, he probably wrote it like as if he was directing it, and I mean, you wouldn't want to touch somebody else's film. You know what I mean?
I can understand that. And I agree that when you look at it from that aspect, my first impression when I thought of this was, well, one, I wasn't too upset. And here's why. I really respect what Matt Reeves has done with Planet of the Apes. And I think if there's someone that... One, I wanted him to direct for a reason because I really love what he does with Planet of the Apes. I want to see what he can do with Batman. And I respect him enough that hearing that he wants to do his own script, I'm like, that's fine. I trust you in that sense. But it did make me wonder, was Geoff Johns and Ben Affleck's script that bad? Or was it maybe not even bad? Was it just... I
don't think it's bad. And he might take some elements out of it, you know what I mean? It just might have not been the story he wanted to say. Because he might have took the job with a whole idea in his head on where he wanted to go, read the script and was like, this is not at all what I wanted. So, because I just read, because we're reading up on this beforehand, Deathstroke's probably getting cut. We probably won't get him as a villain after all.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, it might just be a different direction. I also read the vision he had in his mind is a prequel/sequel. So he wants to do early Batman and after Justice League Batman.
Okay.
So I'm actually really curious about that. And that goes into a whole book of worms. Is he going to cast young Batman, or are they going to do CGI to make Ben Affleck look young?
Prequel/sequel. Do you think? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe.
I don't know.
Red Hood.
That could be. That's
Literally the only element from the Batman v Superman that can carry over between the two.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. I mean, could it be something with Joker for Suicide Squad, something like that? Sure. I really think, though, from what you just said, that's what it sounds like the direction it could be.
There's so much lore in so many comics for years for Batman that they can pull from so many stories.
I agree. I think the problem, though, too, is while everyone loves Batman, not many people actually read the comics.
Yes,
Let's be honest. You can ask people, "Oh, who's your favorite DC character?" They'll say Batman, and it's like, "Oh, you read the comics?" No, I only watch the movies.
Well, it's true. A lot of people. The one I always use is Man of Steel, when Superman broke Zod's neck,
Yes.
and people lost their minds. It was like, that's not Superman. Anybody that reads the comics knows, he chooses not to take lives, not because he's like, oh, I won't do it, it's awful. It's because he doesn't want people to fear him.
Yeah.
So he figures, if I don't take lives, people won't think I'm overboard. But he's killed before when he needed to.
Yeah.
So it's you're right. It's a lot of comics fans versus people that just watch movies. And a lot of the issues, I feel like, when they compared Henry Cavill's like grounding angry Superman and saying that's not Superman, they weren't talking about the comics. They were talking about Christopher Reeve's Superman. Of course it doesn't compare. It's a different Superman.
Yeah. I really think that the Superman they're going for this one is a lot more like the New 52. He's much more of like a brawling group. Like, he's really smart, don't get me wrong. But, you know.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of misconceptions about Superman that people don't understand.
I think it has to do with all the characters. I mean, look at Batman and Batman v Superman. Everyone was like, Batman doesn't kill. We've had numerous occasions where Batman has. And originally, the original comics, Batman carried a gun.
Yes. You remember which gun it was?
I do not. Colt.
Yes, good job.
Woo! I don't know why I said I don't remember. Then I was like,
I feel like this story for Batman, if they do a prequel/sequel, they'll have to touch on the Robin. Still don't know if it's going to be Jason Todd. I still say the chances are it could be Tim Drake or it could be Dick Grayson.
I'm really hoping that they don't go the route of Batman Beyond, where Tim Drake became Joker, and that's who Jared Leto is. I really hope...
I doubt it. You know what I mean? One, Jared Leto's a little too old to be playing a young boy sidekick. You know what I mean? And two...
Hey, man, the things you can do with CGI. Remember
True.
the first Captain America?
Oh, yeah. When it made... what's his name?
Super small.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
But either way, I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited to see where they go. I hope that, like Wonder Woman, this Batman movie stands on its own. And that was one of the best things about Wonder Woman is, although it is in this universe, it was treated like its own thing. And that was what made it real special.
It wasn't trying to build up to something
so
else.
I'm hoping that's what this is. I would love, when you need to do a story that's going to be so grounded in Gotham and small that you wouldn't wonder why Superman's not showing up to save the day, why, you know what I mean, Wonder Woman's not showing up to save the day. You need those kind of little stories like that. Perfect example was Ant-Man. It was such a small-scale thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense that the Avengers didn't get involved, and that's what you really need to do for something like Batman. So making it like the villain, the Joker, or somebody like Penguin or something like that is going to make a difference. Who do you want as the villain? Say it's not Red Hood. Who do you want?
If it's not Red Hood, I really was excited for Deathstroke, but if they scrapped that, I personally wouldn't mind them maybe going into the Azrael, getting into... Because I think with Azrael, the nice thing, if you set that up, you're also setting up the demonic realm, and then you have something for your next Justice League movie. Although we already predict that they're not going to actually beat, what's his name? Darkseid. And we know that Brainiac is obviously another big villain. So they do have quite a few. But I think Darkseid, we all can pretty much agree, Darkseid is the big DC villain.
Yeah.
And they're already using him now. We know he's not going to be beaten, but they need things in between to kind of lead back up to him. And I think when you get into that demonic realm and things like that, there's something else there.
Right.
I would say Ra's al Ghul because I really do like his character as well, and he's one of those characters that he's smaller scaled, but his picture is always really big.
I was thinking about Rage too, but they did him in the original trilogy, or not the original, the Christopher Nolan. He just showed up in Gotham now. He just left Arrow. I feel like he's too fresh in minds.
That's my problem with him as well.
I would really like them. I want to see somebody that hasn't been done before. So that kind of really limited now. There's so many movies out there, but at least Black Mask.
Black Mask would be a really well-grounded one as well.
But then once again, if you use Black Mask, he was such a big story element in Jason Todd Under the Red Hood, you kind of want to ruin that. I also like to see the Mad Hatter. He hasn't been done in a film yet.
He hasn't.
Be nice. Man-Bat.
Calendar Man.
Calendar Man. I would actually love to see a sick, crazy version of Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Like the one we see from like the Arkham series, where he has the date like stitched into his head. Like,
yes, I agree.
That would be neat.
That would be pretty cool. I see. Once again, I want Killer Croc, but the one that I imagine isn't what we already got. Do I think that the guy who played Killer Croc from Suicide Squad couldn't do a good job? Obviously, he did. I did like him as Killer Croc. I just feel like he doesn't have that physical presence. And Ben Affleck's a big dude.
Yeah, that's another issue.
He's 6'4".
You casted Ben Affleck, who is like he towered over Superman.
Well,
and Batman v Superman, so it was tough.
And the hard part is though, Ben Affleck though is the exact height of Bruce Wayne. It's not like I can be like, oh, they didn't cast properly. It's like, no, you really hit the nail on the head with this one. He is the height of Bruce Wayne as if he really is Batman.
And it's so funny, like, Ben Affleck got in such great shape for that movie, but he bulked up, so it was like, he looked huge in the costume. I'm like, that's gotta be padding. But then you see the workout scene with him training. No, he's just ginormous. He's a big man.
Yeah, he got massive for that role.
But in the warehouse scene, I realized at the warehouse scene when he's like, he looks like he's fighting anorexic guys, because they're all tiny compared to him.
Yeah.
It's just so...
But it also makes you believe that he's just putting these guys through walls and stuff, you know what I mean? Because he just has that... And Batman has always, though, even in the comics and everything, had that physical presence. And there's very few villains that really match it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Joker, the lucky part for Joker is that Batman has that line he won't cross. Because let's be honest, when you look at Joker and you look at Batman, you know who would win that fist fight.
Absolutely. So, either way, though, I'm really excited about it. Man, we can go on about Batman.
Yeah, so let's move on.
Matt Reeves really excited, and I don't mind that he's coming up with a new script, as long as it's good. Which
I just hope it doesn't take place in the 80s.
I see what you did there. Now, I'm confused by your notes over here. You're saying we're switching right over to Wonder Woman, by the way.
Yes, so this is for Wonder Woman 2. The rumor is the movie's going to take place in the 80s.
Now, what confuses me is I'm hearing it's supposed to take place during the Cold War.
Okay. My question was, though, and this is what I meant, so it's taking place in the 80s, do we need more past things with Wonder Woman? Or should we have something more present? That's my only concern. Because the problem with when you mess with the past, apparently they did a great job with Wonder Woman. I still haven't seen it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But the problem with when you mess with the past a lot, you're running into that problem that what if you do something that you don't, worry about, what happens in the future with it?
The only reason I would normally agree with you, like, I just feel like, hey, you just did World War One. Now we're going to the Cold War. The only reason I'm okay with that is it's not like they're going to World War II or Vietnam. Like, these big Cold War was all underground, black ops, secret. So if there was anything, it would all be swept under the rug. So I'm actually kind of okay with the Cold War setting.
That makes sense. Because if anything did happen, we could easily be like, oh...
but to me, it's actually pretty ideal. You could bring back Dr. Poison with this storyline. You could do, you could bring back the actual villain, no spoilers. You could do, what's-her-face, Chitara. Like, there's a lot of villains you could go with that would fit into that Cold War area.
See, I don't think they should do Cheetah, as much as I think she's more of a modern-day thing. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you do her in the 80s, she's not Diana.
Yeah.
Who doesn't age, and if you're going to have her going up against Diana, she probably would already have to be in her...
Who would you want to see as a villain in Wonder Woman 2? Because honestly, that's what makes the movie is the villain.
I agree. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I've never been really big into Wonder Woman. Out of her villains, I really only know Cheetah as being... and Ares as being her big villains. So I don't really know who I'd want to see.
trying to think.
I wouldn't mind them maybe setting up Randall Savage.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty good one.
Maybe because he's a big villain too. Maybe setting him up for Legion of Doom or something like that.
That's not bad. Also, I feel like with her realm, you did so much supernatural. You could do a lot of really neat different directions. Solomon Grundy would be a neat thing to see. Not as the main villain, but you know what I mean, as
like a side thing.
Yeah, Russian experiment. You know what I mean, Solomon Grundy.
One on a Monday.
Yeah, I would love. Either way, I'm actually really excited to see this. Plus, I do like time periods in films, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Wonder Woman took place when World War I was neat. I wish more superhero movies would do that. Actually, time periods they're always really neat for me.
Okay.
So I'm actually really excited to see the Cold War version of Wonder Woman. Wonder if they're going to change her costume.
That's something I always like seeing too. The change in the progression of the costume as they go on.
You know what I mean? And then to me, this might fill in a huge gap because she goes from literally leaving Thingera, or whatever the island is, in End of Wonder Woman, and coming living on the American soil or whatever wherever she went to. She's really rich by the time Batman v Superman. She owns an art gallery and all that. Maybe this will explain a little more how she accumulated this wealth over these years.
Okay. Sticking with DC.
Still perfect Wonder Woman, by the way.
Yeah. Good. Sticking with DC, the next DC comic to be turned into an animated movie is Batman's Gotham by Gaslight.
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, Gotham by Gaslight. Sorry. I actually never read this.
Oh, it's really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman takes Jack the Ripper on.
Really?
Yes, takes place during that period. Jack the Ripper goes to America, to Gotham, America. Yeah, it's actually a really good comic.
Huh.
So,
I'll have to check it out. Are you excited for this?
I am. Kind of, not really. DC animated films have actually, it's funny, now that their live action films are picking up a little bit, their animated films, in my opinion, have dropped down in quality.
That's why I said, are we excited or should we worry?
Killing Joke was the biggest disappointment. Like, I really, if I wasn't so cheap, I would get rid of that movie somehow. I hate the fact that it's part of my collection because it was just so bad.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like people complained about just the beginning. I think the entire film is a letdown. There's nothing saving grace about that. And then even the last couple, like Justice League Dark was pretty good.
I would say Justice League Dark was pretty good, but compared to their older stuff,
ones nowhere. And then I felt the same way about Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. I was like, okay, decent, but nowhere near as good as Teen Titans versus the Justice League.
That one was really good. Yeah.
And it's like I feel like their quality is dropping off, and I don't know what it is. If they're not being able to take as many chances because of the live action universe or what it is. But Gotham by Gaslight, I'll have to see how they go. But I'm really tired of them taking so many liberties with these comics instead of just doing what made them so special. Like, I know what they were thinking with that whole 45-minute opening to Killing Joke with Batgirl that made her the most useless character in the world. It's like, ugh.
I agree. And that was my concern was, DC, if you would have told me this maybe 3 years ago, I would have been super excited because at that point, every DC movie, animated movie that was coming out was gold, in my opinion. Excuse me. Like, I was really excited for every single one coming out. And then, it got to a point, like we said, with Killing Joke. It was actually also the first one I really heard negative reviews about, too. Like, it wasn't just people who like comics that didn't like it. Just people in general seemed like they didn't really...
It was not a good movie.
Yeah, so, and
even the animation felt lazy for it. It was just all around, ugh. So, and that's what makes me worried, is they take a lot of liberties with these comics. And some of the ones back in the day, they would take liberties, they made smart choices. Now I feel like they're just making liberties to make liberties. And if you need, alright, prime example, obviously The Killing Joke was a short comic. It's hard to make that into a full film. If it's the case, then don't add to the story, you know what I mean? Make it a 25-minute short. And,
extend scenes.
Yeah. Or make 4, you know what I mean? You could have done 4 different comics in this one thing, all 25 minutes each.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have had Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill for all of them. But, I don't know, that's my opinion. This adding and subtracting stuff, ugh.
I agree. So, we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping it's good, but...
point being, back in the day, I would have picked up a DC animated film at release, no question. Now I wait for reviews.
Same.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I think they need to get back to that point where it's like we trust them again.
Yep.
And you know what sucks though? It really only took one movie. You know, some people, you know, it takes quite a few for you to stop really picking up their stuff. Assassin's Creed.
You know what it was? Honestly, it's if you messed up on a Killing Joke story, which the material was there. Like, you know what I mean?
It's amazing.
It's almost hard to mess up. Like, I make the joke about this. People talk about how good Dark Knight Returns and Dark Knight Returns 2 were, and how amazing they were as animated movies. And I was like, yeah, but the amazing source material to come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course you can make a good story. But obviously it took talent, because it's same thing with Killing Joke, and they somehow messed that up.
I agree.
I definitely, when anybody asks me, how was Killing Joke? I'm like, stay away from that one. It was awful.
Let's get into some Marvel.
You're a Marvel.
Some Marvel and Disney goodness. Actually, I'm just going to give my spoiler-free thoughts on Spider-Man. I'm not going to, ruin any characters or anything like that. But I did really enjoy the movie. It was a lot of fun. I had quite a few laughs. If I had to grade it, I personally would probably say an 8.5.
Here's my only question to you. My favorite Spider-Man to this day is still Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
To me, you can't touch it.
It's not as good as Spider-Man 2.
Okay, that's my only question. Like, and I don't even say out of Spider-Man films. That's my favorite. Like, Spider-Man 2 is probably like in my top 5 favorite superhero movies of all time.
I'm still going to say Spider-Man 2, and I agree with you. Spider-Man 2 is still the best Spider-Man movie. What I will say though is this is definitely second now.
Word. All right, I'm gonna. Like I said, once I get a chance to see it.
Yeah. So anyone who hasn't seen Spider-Man, I would definitely take a look at that. We're going to do a spoiler cast once Jesse gets a chance to do that.
Yes. Now the freaks.
But I really enjoyed it. I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. There's a couple teases at the very end that you're just kind of like, whoa, I hope these come to fruition. But we'll see. So moving on, we'll stick with Disney though. When I wrote that note, I thought you would have already seen Spider-Man, so that's why we're...
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in my face.
I'm sorry.
Talk about it.
He does whatever a spider can, right?
Yeah, I just heard.
You think he lays eggs?
I'm overrated. I already feel like Spider-Man's overrated.
I know.
This one I'm actually really excited about, though.
Incredibles 2.
It's an incredible story. First off, I'm surprised, because Incredibles is the greatest Fantastic Four movie ever made. I know I make that joke all the time, but it's so true. I love The Incredibles. I think it's an amazing Disney.
Honey, where is my super suit?
It's such a great story, and I'm surprised it took this long to do a sequel. But Pixar does that, man.
And that was my question, though, too. It's been so long. Is now a good time to really release the second one?
I'm still excited. I feel like,
And it takes place directly after the first one, though, they said.
I feel like, obviously... You know what? I feel like I guess they're waiting for kids to see the first one to grow up and see to watch this one now and bring their kids. But I feel like it's going to do well. I mean, I can see my son wasn't even born when the first one came out. I mean, I was an adult by that point anyway. I remember seeing it in theaters and feeling like I was too old to see it, but I still loved it. But I feel like if he saw advertisements for The Incredibles, he would love it and get super excited for it.
Huh.
You know what I mean? And it's just a fun movie, so I don't mind at all. Think about it this way: how long had it been since Finding Nemo? Finding Dory was incredible.
I can respect it.
You know what I mean? It's weird. They do that. They take a while to release the sequels to the ones I really like, and then Cars, which I hated. I get a sequel every 4 minutes. It feels like.
Don't worry, you also got Planes, and now you're
Planes is Disney, not Pixar.
But now you didn't. That was another thing that they just recently announced. I'll get to that in a second, though. I want to finish with this Incredibles thing. Apparently, in The Incredibles 2, we will find out Jack's power.
Okay. And a fourth I thought it was, man.
I don't know.
Remember, you could change into all these monsters and stuff like that? I'm excited. Who's your favorite out of the family?
Character-wise?
Yeah.
Probably Dash.
I love Dash. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah. Dash
was hilarious.
Dash was probably my favorite.
You want to see Syndrome come back?
I was going to say, my second favorite is probably Syndrome.
He was a great villain, and Jason Lee did an amazing job on his voice. And Incredibles has one of the most dirty lines in a Disney film that I still watch it and feel uncomfortable. And it's when he captures all the Incredibles, and he's like, whoa. Mr. Incredible and Miss Fantastic, or Miss Elastic Girl got married, and then he looks at the kids and goes, "Hey, got busy." I always feel so uncomfortable, laugh so hard. I would love to see Syndrome come back. I'm almost hoping that he's in the second.
It's really funny though, because Syndrome, I thought was hilarious that he was a villain because he couldn't be a hero.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that's funny. Now I'm curious if they bring him back. Do you think they're going to do that typical thing where he teams up with them at the end to help stop the new big bad?
Could be.
Redemption, and now he's a superhero too.
Maybe, or maybe he'll be. That's the way they'll make you feel, and then he'll betray them. We don't know.
Maybe
many options. You know what? Sometimes it works out though. I was never a huge fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks, but the villain from the first two turns good in 3, kind of, but not really. He's still a jerk. That was probably the best jokes in 3 for me. I really enjoyed it. So.
Okay.
The Chipmunks that great, but I'm still really excited for the Incredibles, man. Everybody coming back. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we'll see. We'll see how the movie does. I don't get me wrong. I'm not a big Pixar fan, but I did enjoy The Incredibles.
It's going to be the best Fantastic Four sequel we've ever gotten.
Yes, it will. That's pretty sad.
I'm telling you.
Disney has the rights to Fantastic Four. They don't even know it.
Word.
Sticking with Disney, let's talk about the casting for live-action Aladdin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. So, Genie has been confirmed as Will Smith.
Genie has been confirmed as Will Smith.
Naomi Scott, who played the Pink Ranger, is going to be Jasmine.
Yes.
And some guy I've never heard of is playing Aladdin.
I looked up that guy that we've never heard of. He has only really done television series, which kind of was weird to me.
I also feel like Guy Ritchie is directing Aladdin.
Yes.
And although you know how I feel about whitewash Hollywood, it does drive me crazy. I also feel like that there was so much pressure on him, he kind of probably felt handcuffed when it came to casting. Can you imagine that as a director, knowing that you have to look, no matter who you had in your mind, or who was amazing, you have to cast a certain way? Like, what if this kid is not who we envisioned as?
Honestly, it's almost the opposite of back when you can only hire whites. To be honest, I mean, it's don't get me wrong, I get it. You don't want to whitewash a movie because it is a constant complaint now when people are like, that character wasn't white and you made him white.
Yeah.
Why? And then the problem too is the Oscars still haven't changed either. So, it does lead to those questions of, has Hollywood changed as well? Are they actually hiring the people that are going to do the job
it's funny
right?
is, and a lot of people have always complained about whitewashing, and Hollywood's kind of never done anything. This year, when movies that had all these controversy about whitewashing started flopping, now that's when studios took notice. Like, oh, and that was Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
People complained about whitewashing. That movie flopped. Same with the other one with Scarlett Johansson.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. It was supposed to be a big budgeted movie and everything like that. Whitewashing came out and that flopped as well. So I feel like that's why we're hearing so much of this controversy over it. With that being said, I feel like this movie is working an uphill battle already. My wife mentioned yesterday when I saw on the news, I was like, that Will Smith has been for sure casted as a genie. No matter how amazing he is,
he's going to be compared to Robin Williams.
He's going to be compared to Robin Williams.
Even if it's a completely different genie, which that's what they've said.
Mm-hmm.
They said he's going to be a much darker genie. I think people are going to be like, that's not the genie I wanted.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's one of the biggest complaints I heard about Beauty and the Beast is when people were comparing it to the original cartoon. And it's unfortunate because then you're in a situation where you don't want to remake the original cartoon, but at the same time, people are going to complain if you change anything.
Yeah.
So, I'm still really excited about it. Who will make and break this movie, in my opinion, is Jafar.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I really think it's dependent on this Aladdin, and I don't know how that girl is as Jasmine because I didn't see Power Rangers.
Like I said, my opinion, Power Rangers, and this is my opinion, it's upstairs, by the way. Borrow the damn thing.
Yeah, you own it.
In my opinion, all 5 Power Rangers were amazing.
Okay.
All of them, their chemistry, their acting. Like I said, one of the best things about that movie is I don't know if they all got together and they're like, listen, I know we're making a cheesy Power Ranger movie, but let's take this serious. And that was one of the best parts. So I was really excited about her. Was she the best out of all of them? No, but she was pretty good. Like when she had her dramatic scenes, I really believed her. Like them kids, I thought did a really good job.
Okay.
Billy the blue away.
And the guy, what's his name? I'm sorry, I don't even mean Mena. He really concerns me because I literally have never heard of him. He's been in a lot of TV series, but they're all TV shows I've also never heard of. So
well, you know what I mean. It's
but I trust Disney. Disney had to have seen something in him, or the director had to have seen something in him to be like, hey, we'll pick him.
It's you can go either way. And like I said, I will give this movie a fair chance. We had to see a trailer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, to me though, this makes and breaks on the Genie and Jafar, and we still haven't seen who's casted as Jafar.
That's true.
That's
and Iago.
You think they put Iago in it?
It better. I will not see this movie if we do not have a Iago. Let me tell you something. I just saw Beauty and the Beast with a chipped cup that looked horrible walk around on that movie screen the entire time. I am getting an Iago.
Well, if that's the case, just bring back Guilford Godfrey again.
Because his voice hasn't changed.
Yeah, it sounds exactly the same, you know what I mean? He'll do it probably for a sandwich. You know what I mean? I don't know, pay my rent for a month and give me a sandwich. I'll do it.
Before we actually move on to the game news, there's something else I didn't put on there that I wanted to add that it was announced really late last night. We have our Scar for the Lion King movie.
Ooh, who is it?
Hugh Jackman.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it.
Either do I. Okay. See, no, I can't. This is really rude because I'm typecasting him, but he usually plays a good guy.
He does.
Rarely plays a bad guy. Not only that, same deal. You're fighting up Jeremy Irons was so creepy as Scar. Like it's hard to hear anybody else do that voice.
Yeah.
It's not like when you hear Donald Glover is playing Simba, you're like, okay, you know what? He has a soft, nice voice. That makes sense. It sounds almost like Matthew Broderick, so I can go with that. But to hear Hugh Jackman go from Jeremy Irons to Hugh Jackman is really odd. Like, and then that same thing, now you're going to do comparing. Like, when he says the line, long live the king, and you're always going to compare the two.
Yep.
You know that line's got to be in it.
It better be.
You remember when you went and see Rogue One without me, and I sent you that?
Because you felt betrayed?
I did. I compared you to Scar. I did.
I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I don't know. Like, I got to give him a chance because sometimes somebody will blow you away and you'll never understand it. I remember I watched Third Rock in the Sun with John Lithgow, and I always told my dad, he is so silly, he's so funny. My dad's like, he's actually a really good villain in some movies. You should give him a chance. I was like, no way. He's John Lithgow. He plays this silly alien. Then I saw him on Dexter, and he blew me away as a villain. And I was like, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, Hugh Jackman, you were amazing Wolverine. You got my support until I see otherwise.
I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm with you on it's weird because of the same reason. He's always been the good guy. And if they would have came out and said that he was Mufasa, I probably wouldn't have been surprised as much. But when I heard that he's Scar...
It's always weird when you have one of the original voice actors come back and not the other one. So it's like, when you said they got their Scar, I was really expecting like Jeremy Irons to come back to play Scar again. And like when you said it was a new actor, it's like, ugh. But sometimes it works out. Transformers, I'm going to use a prime example. Peter Cullen came back to do Optimus Prime. Frank Welcher did not come back to do Megatron. They got instead Hugo Weaving. And he was fantastic in Megatron, in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll go either way.
Yeah. Now we're going to get into our game news.
Games?
Yeah.
I play games.
Do you?
Yeah.
So the first one is actually really upsetting to me. Ni no Kuni 2 got delayed.
Didn't that just come out?
No. So the first Ni no Kuni actually came out back in 2000, and I believe it was 11.
Yeah, it just came out. That was like a year ago. Or 5.
And now we're finally about to get Ni no Kuni 2. It was supposed to come out this holiday. They didn't really give a window. Everyone was thinking... I think it was supposed to be November, actually.
All right.
And it got pushed to January 19th, 2018. My theory behind this was the developers were like, you know what? This game, as much as the first one was loved, it's not a game that everyone is probably going to go out and get anyway, just because of the style and stuff like that. It's a really good RPG, but RPGs in general just aren't They're just not first-person shooters. You know what I mean? They don't get those big numbers. So I'm pretty sure that the developers looked at it and were like, you know what, let's push it back so that we don't go up against Wolfenstein, Call of Duty, Evil Within, Destiny, all these big games coming
Wrestling
out.
game. I don't know why I pitched that too.
WWE.
2K.
Anyway, but, you know, they probably pushed it back. But my concern now is, though, early 2018 has always kind of now turned into a second holiday.
True.
There's always a lot of games coming out early 2018.
Okay, I agree. It is a big time. But to take it back to something you said, the biggest sales they get at Christmas is those people that normally do not buy games and ask, you know, this is Christmas time, I'm going to ask for a game finally. You know what I mean? And like you said, I mean, to be honest, I can't see really anybody asking for this for Christmas. No offense.
I want it.
I understand. But you are, you know, minority. And like you said, majority likes first-person shooters.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Or Grand Theft Auto.
My concern is that there really wasn't a good time for this game to ever come out, besides maybe summer. Because summer's that dead time. Look at right now, and you know this leads into the next topic anyway, so we can just have it. Well, the third topic of this, but we'll just bleed into it. Final Fantasy XI. We'll talk about that right after this. But I think had that game come out during the holiday or early 2018 with all those other games, while I may have still gotten it and you may have still gotten it, I think most people probably wouldn't.
You mean Final Fantasy 12?
What did I say?
11.
I meant 12.
When you were confusing me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that Ni no Kuni 2 does well, because I love the first game. It has a lot of charm. It's a beautiful game.
PlayStation 4 game?
It's a PS3 game.
Really?
Yes.
Now that's the trouble you have, in my opinion.
For the first one.
Is jumping consoles. That is a big issue. Especially, like, let's say me. I've never played the first one. And I'm like, oh, let me get the first one so I can play this one. No, I can't do it.
Well, they did come out and say that you didn't have to play the first one to play this one. They actually happen at the same time. So there is no, oh, I won't get something if I didn't play the first one. It's not going to do anything for you.
But you like some really weird nerdy games, Ben. It's really awkward.
I hate you.
What?
I'm joking. That was mean. Too far. Let's get into Final Fantasy. How did it hold up after 11 years? This game came out in 2006.
It did, and it was so funny. In 2006, I had no interest. I got the special edition too. I remember, like, the case, like the Steelbook, and I played it like for a day and traded it in. You know what it is? I think I was not ready for it at the time. Maybe it did need 11 years because I watched you play it in our last gameplay video. I went and picked it up Thursday, and I really love this game.
Yeah.
It's been such a long time since I enjoyed an old school RPG, walking from character to character, just to get 3-4 lines of dialogue and then move on, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I literally talk to anyone that has a speech bubble over their head, because I'm like, what if they have an item? Even if it's a potion, I could use a potion.
Now, I'm always looking for, like, your side quests and everything like that, but one, the combat is so fun in the game, too. For two, I don't know about you, but I like playing such a small-scale story. That's what I'm really enjoying about it. I'm so used to every Final Fantasy being end-of-the-world, huge, big.
This is literally just about the kingdom.
Yeah, the kingdom. It's just a small. It's a war. It's a tiny kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I really like about it. It's such a simple, more personal story. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? No spoilers, but there is a death earlier in the game that, like, didn't really give you time to get to know that character, but I still felt the feels because it's such a small scale story.
And you're pretty much where I am. And you know what? We're not going to spoil anything, but you run into a character that you thought, did something, and you're just like, wait a minute, no?
Yeah.
And he's so humble, like you almost feel bad for him. Like you're just like I wanted to hate him at first.
Absolutely.
Just like,
when he shows back up on the screen, I'm like, this guy, this stupid hair. Like, so pissed. But you're right, absolutely. I was thinking about that the other day when I played that. And like I said, story-wise, gameplay-wise, and look-wise, it is gorgeous. I cannot believe.
It is still beautiful.
More importantly, this is the first time I played many of games where the gameplay looks amazing, but the cutscenes look garbage. And I don't know how they upscaled the cutscenes because they look amazing.
Yeah.
I still do not know how they did that because normally it's easier to fix up gameplay. You know what I mean? Update, but an actual pre-rendered cutscene is really hard to do. Look at Prince of Persia trilogy. They re-released that.
Yeah.
Gameplay was amazing. All cutscenes
Look horrible.
looked like I recorded a VHS over and over. Like, it was terrible. So I'm actually surprised. All the in-game cutscenes look amazing in this.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said before, I think I've said it on this podcast actually numerous times, this actually was a Final Fantasy that when I first played it when it came out, like you, I didn't even get the game. I played back when I used to get PlayStation Magazine in the mail. When you got PlayStation Magazine, it came with a demo disc. Every magazine. Final Fantasy XI was on there. 12. God, why do I keep doing that? Final Fantasy 12 was on there. I played it, and I was like, I do not like this. I didn't even give it really a chance, to be honest, because the combat was so different. I was like, I don't like this at all. I'm not playing this. I'm not buying this.
Right.
Speaking with my wallet, I don't want them to know that what they did was okay. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, maybe I needed to mature because I love this game.
It is really weird. Like I said, what I was saying to you earlier, as much as I love 15, 15 is still amazing in my opinion. Anybody hasn't played it should. I kind of wish that this was a combat that they kind of explored a little bit because it does. 15, I would run into any battle, no matter my level, because you, at the end of the day, if you dodged enough, you were good in 15.
Yeah.
And it was a hack and slasher, whether or not. This really makes you think before you enter a battle. Look at your potions. Look where you're at scale-wise. And do I really want to do this?
And you also have to worry about your teammates because enemies drop area effect things, and you're like, wait, why is one of my teammates constantly going down the hill? Oh, they're not getting out of this stupid thing. They're just standing in it. I got to switch over to them and move them out of it. And I also really like the Gambit system. I think it's really smart where you can set up your team for what you want them to do. But I also think it's a little annoying, but I understand it's something to give you something more to work towards, that you have to buy the options for what you want them to do.
Yeah. Overall, though, I'm definitely giving this a must-play. If you are an RPG fan or you're looking into getting into an RPG, I think this would be the first story. And I think this game would be good for somebody that doesn't really like turn-based to try out turn-based because of the real-time turn-based feel for it.
Okay.
So I was actually really surprised because I remember not liking this game.
Same. And I'm just loving it. And I was only going to try it again because, I'm older now. I saw that it was being re-released. I was like, you know what? I didn't really play it when it came out. Some people have told me it was really good. Some people told me it was trash. I really think this might be the dark horse of the Final Fantasy series, where not many people talk about it. It's kind of lost between the 13 and 10. But I think this is a really solid, good RPG.
How well did it do sales-wise?
Back when it first came out?
Now.
I don't know how well.
Look it up, because I'm open. Because I feel like if this got re-released, it did well sales-wise, and they put this much time and love into the remake. Because I couldn't believe how good it looked. I was like, maybe it looked great for PS2. I did a side-by-side comparison video online, and it looks so much better now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how much better it looks.
Maybe that's something we can do, too. Maybe I'll do a comparison video for some people.
Good idea. But I think everybody would really enjoy it. But anyway, like I said, I'm hoping that this is the direction they would go. I would love them to start releasing other Final Fantasies. You know what I mean? Just not 13 again. Stop.
No, not 13 again.
Stop.
But I would love 9.
That's exactly where I was going next. I would love a re-release of 9. I played 9 once when it came out. And as much as I enjoyed it over 8, I feel like 9 was overshadowed by 10.
I also think 9 was still kind of lost to 7. While I think 9 I think 9 is the better game, but most people who aren't Final Fantasy fans, when you ask them what their favorite Final Fantasy is, it's 7. You know what I mean? A lot of people, when you ask most people who really like Final Fantasy, most people seem to say 6. I actually did really enjoy 6 as well. It's really up there for me. 9 is my personal favorite, and I think 9 is one of those ones though that, like 12, was missed. And a lot of people.
That's what I'm hoping. I want to see. I would love to play 9 again, the Dragon Ball Final Fantasy, and I'm hoping that direction. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll release 8, but they'll pay us to take it. And no, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? I would like to see some different Final Fantasies. I also would love a collection with the 1 through 6 again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would love to be able to play them again.
But definitely saying, if you haven't played Final Fantasy, this is a freebie recommendation from us. It's not going to count as our end of the show one. Please try this game out any way you can. If you have the extra money to pick it up, do it. If you have to wait for a sale, or if you know a friend that has it, but even just go over to their house and play. I promise you will be hooked within the first 2 hours of playing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Before we actually move on to the next topic, who's your favorite character so far? Because I already have one, and I was like, man, I'm shocked that
Who's your favorite character?
Baltier.
I'm gonna go with what's his name, Vaughn, the main guy.
You like Vaughn?
Yeah, I really do like him.
Okay.
I was actually forgot to mention that I normally hate young characters like that, and I actually really like him. He does not annoy me.
I can agree. He doesn't annoy me.
I think that's why I like him so much.
But I really like Baltier. He seems like such a laid back guy. He doesn't really care, but he's like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta do something.
I agree. But yeah, I'm very impressed with this.
We're gonna stick with the Square news real quick, and then we're gonna take a step back. Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, it's coming in 2018. 2018 is looking pretty big now. With all the stuff Sony showed at their E3 conference that people gave them flack for because it's all coming in 2018.
Yeah.
Now you got Kingdom Hearts coming. Well, we saw gameplay.
Yes.
A whole new world.
Yes.
What is that world, Jesse? Because I'm sure
Toy
you're...
Story.
Yeah.
And not only is it Toy Story, first off, I love the way Sora, Donald, and Goofy look in their toy forms.
They look like those Bionicles.
Yes. But more importantly, I loved the whole aspect when Woody and Buzz show up and Andy's missing. And then to see them actually be able to go outside, and when he did the drop from the roof down, I'm really excited. And then the Toy Story. Then I'm seeing different kind of gameplay because he's going inside of mech or mech-like toys and everything. So I'm actually really excited for this game. And last time I complained about the way the game looked, and now looking at it, I can see what they were going for, and I like it a lot. It's not so much what I was expecting was Final Fantasy XV. What I should expecting is the upgrade to the next Kingdom Hearts, and that's exactly what this is.
And you have to remember that these characters have to interact with Disney characters. That's definitely why the direction they went with they did.
Yes.
And man, when they go to that Toy Story world, though, that is Andy's route.
Yeah.
And that Woody, I honestly thought I wasn't even I thought I was watching Toy Story.
Yeah. Now my question is, do you think Tom Hanks and Tim Allen will come back and do the voices?
I don't know because all the voice acting was in Japanese.
Exactly. So
I'm hoping.
And it's hard to compare with the other two Kingdom Hearts because a lot of in the other two games, some of the voice actors came back, some of them didn't.
Yeah, like Robin Williams did not come back to do
Genie. Johnny Depp did not do Jack Sparrow, but the guy who played Aladdin came back. The guy who played Tarzan came back to the voice. So it's I don't know. To me, it's gonna be hard to hear anybody else coming out of them. And we know they have dialogue because we saw the Japanese dialogue.
Yeah.
So we know they have dialogue. So to me, you have to have.
They won't. They're just gonna have moving lips and subtitles.
Oh, that would make me so mad.
Yeah, me too.
That would make me so mad.
But you know what? The thing is, you also have those other characters, side characters that all talked. You have Rex. Are you going to get him back? I mean, you probably could easily replace some of the side.
I was going to say, it is a lot easier to do an impression of the guy who played Rex, the guy who played Cam. You know what I mean? Or, Sling, God rest his soul. The guy who played Sling, he passed away. You know what I mean? But Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, who use their regular voices for them, have such distinct voices. It'll be hard to hear anything else coming out of them but Tom Hanks' voice.
You're mocking.
Huh?
You're mocking.
Yeah.
But, no, I agree. And, man, that gameplay was so good. So we both watched. Did you see the way the weapons change?
Yes.
So they change, and the only other gameplay we really ever saw was Rapunzel's. We saw Olympus for Hercules. I believe the other town was Travis Town. Could be wrong. But, the weapons kind of didn't. They just look the same. But when you go into this world, they have the theme of Buzz Lightyear and Woody. And I thought that was really cool. And the same thing with his Keyblade was a cactus and the star from the badge. I was like, wait, this looks really cool. And I really like the direction they're going with. Did you notice the thing with the party?
What party?
The in the bottom right corner, how you can view your party?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you remember this. In Kingdom Hearts, you could only always have 3. You had to replace Donald and Goofy.
Correct.
If you rewatch that gameplay, you don't replace them. So when they showed the Hercules, Hercules was there with Donald and Goofy. I think now, as long as you're in these worlds, you get to guess as just extra.
All right, okay, that is one of the good complaints I would have had about the other three.
Same thing with the Toy Story world. If you look at it, both Buzz and Woody are there, along Donald, Goofy, and you.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that also means then, if the reason you're keeping these extra characters with you is, are the fights going to be harder, and is there going to be a lot more enemies on the screen that this is why?
Yeah. I'm really excited to. Let me ask you a question out of curiosity. Who would you get rid of anytime in the original games, Goofy or Donald?
I actually always got rid of Goofy.
I always got rid of Donald.
And a lot of people used to be like, oh, I always got rid of Donald. And a lot of people always complain about Donald healing. But I always went into the settings and made it so that Donald prioritized healing. So I never personally had an issue. I don't know if many people knew you could do that. But I always kept Donald because I was just like, I like my heals. Don't get me wrong, Donald was dead most of the time. But it was nice.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm actually really excited about it. I was actually pissed. I went to a pool party last night and I mentioned the gameplay. And somebody who was there was like, I don't care about Kingdom Hearts until it's actually in my hand. And I was like, I said the same thing until I watched that gameplay last night. And I was like, you've done it. Right. So you made me excited again.
Yeah, and 2018 at that, like, it's coming. It's happening.
I'm excited as I am now. I'll be more excited when I see some English voice acting with it.
I agree. I think come next E3, or we still have PSX. Let's be honest, Square has always favored Sony over Microsoft when it comes to their RPGs. It would not surprise me if at PSX, which is in December, we see English voice acting trailer for
now,
this.
is the Kingdom Hearts coming out on both Xbox and...
It is Xbox One and PS4. However, Xbox One does not get the prequel games. So Xbox One is only getting Kingdom Hearts 3. So if you want to play the other games, you either need a PS2 or a PS4 or PS3.
Okay.
So you still need a PlayStation system to get the full story.
Oh, that's what you get from getting an Xbox.
So let's stick with PlayStation real quick. Days Gone, we got another gameplay video.
Yes, we did.
It was an alternate route of what we already saw at E3.
Yes, in different weather, though. Right.
Different weather,
yes.
And he went a completely different way. He
Yeah.
didn't use the same tactics or anything like that. What do you think?
I like the snow effects. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
It really made me confused, though, because like you said, different weather, different time. So I'm wondering, how do you approach the game? How do you approach the missions? Like,
I'm starting to think no mission has a time frame on it. And I think I put that in the notes, that I think what happens is the mission will be there. Whenever you get to it, you get to it. But when you get to it, those are the conditions that you're met with going in.
I'm rather curious about it now. And I'm wondering if it's... I don't know. Like, I'm really excited. But I did like the fact that, like you said, completely different. Different route, everything. You know what I mean?
I was expecting him to take the same route, just different weather. And I was like, all right, you're showing off your weathering effects. Cool. No, they showed that, hey, he went around up in these hills, took a completely different path. Because he already saw that rope that, clotheslined him in the previous one, he snuck around and killed both of the guys. Like, I'm excited for this game.
Yes.
They're doing a good job of making me want it more.
I'm actually surprised, because I thought I was done with the zombie thing for a while. But this is actually, more importantly, this game is legitimately selling me on just gameplay. And that's impressive. It's hard for me nowadays.
I agree. You see the zombie chained up at the tree. The guy's kind of mocking it. He shoots the chain and lets that zombie go on him. And it's things like that I really like. And I like that you can tackle it in any way. Some things obviously still happen. After he freed his friend, the bear still comes.
Yeah.
Different weather, though, so, it's a little different.
I'm hoping that, like I said, we get this game day one. We can beat it around the same time and have completely different experiences.
Me too.
Because I know me and you, we do play games very differently.
We do.
You know what I mean? So it's exciting to see.
One thing I definitely want us to do is maybe both of us stream it. And, I could do a picture-in-picture, my gameplay and your gameplay, just so people can see for each mission.
I'm better at playing video games than you are, I understand.
Yeah, whatever. But, yeah, so you excited?
Absolutely.
This gets you even more pumped?
Yeah, this was a day one for me anyway. Like I said, when that person, that hipster on your Facebook was like, game look basic. I was like, you're basic, man. Come on. Like,
yeah.
Don't take away from that developer. The first trailer had me piped off. All this did was like, oh, you like that? You know what I mean? You like whipped cream and ice cream and all that? There's a little sprinkle right there. I like that too? Like I do. And they're like, and a cherry. Bah! You know what I mean? I'm good now.
I agree. From the very first trailer, I was really interested in it. And then when they showed that gameplay at E3, I was like, okay, I'm in. And now they showed this, and I'm like, wow, I really like what you guys are doing, and I'm excited to see more. Let's keep going.
You keep going.
Forza.
Forza 7 coming out.
4K.
Woo!
You getting it? Because you were liking Forza Horizon a lot.
I did like Forza Horizon. I don't like regular Forza, one.
Okay.
Number two, I got a regular Xbox One. What's 4K going to do for me?
That's true. Well, it might not even benefit people that have the new Xbox One, because it's going to be 100 gigs to get the 4K.
100 gigs?
100 gigabytes.
Ah! Why?
For the 4K. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
Even if you have it on disc.
Yep.
It is a patch. In order for you to get the 4K textures, it is not going to be on the disc. You have to download this patch. The patch won't automatically download. You have to go into the store and download it yourself. It's free, but they did that so that people who do not want to waste that memory space, they don't have to. But for that 4K textures, 100 gigs, and they said this may be the norm for all the 4K games coming out.
Wow. What's the Xbox One X memory space again? I know it was huge.
I think it was 1 terabyte, which isn't that big.
Yeah, now. Especially now, 100 gigs per game. Like, that thing would fill up. Wow.
Well, let's look at it this way. The operating system, one, you're not going to get a full 1 terabyte, because the operating system has to take up some memory. So let's say, this is being generous, you get 800 gigs. That's only 8 games.
Yeah, you're absolutely
8
right.
4K games.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
DLC.
Doesn't count your save files, your DLC, any music, your themes, anything else you want to put on that. So realistically, that's 4 games. Technically. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Oh, that is hilarious. 800. There goes that whole thing, though. This is what you're giving up on when you want.
You want better look. You want those better textures. You want better graphics. This is kind of the price right now we have to pay. And that's kind of crazy, though, that it's 100 gigs.
Wow.
For this
racing game.
Now,
I can picture, like, imagine a Grand Theft Auto 6 running in 4K.
With the whole world,
yeah.
no load screens? Yeah.
Oh, my God. It would be ridiculous, man. Like,
how big's your hard drive? 1 terabyte. Yeah, we're going to use all that.
That's your... We need you to delete some of the operations and stuff off of it. But I remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 was coming out, if you had bought one of the original Xboxes, your hard drive wasn't even big enough for it. You know what I mean? Like, so...
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Games are...
Xbox One can't hold anything. I'm constantly having to delete games off of that.
Game sizes are just getting larger, and it's going to continue that way, too. You know, I mean, games are becoming bigger. Every game needs to be open world now.
Yes.
Everyone wants these 4K textures, and this is the price we pay for all that. I will say this. I do respect Microsoft making it an optional download.
Yeah.
If I'm someone who I want Forza, but I don't care enough to...
Especially if I don't have a 4K TV, you know what I mean? Or anything
Yeah.
like that.
I 100%. I really respect them for not making it a mandatory patch. So I'm happy with that. I think the next generation of consoles that come out either going to need really big hard drives, or it's going to have to be like PlayStation now, where everything's streamed and it doesn't really take up space on a hard drive.
Right.
So the gaming is going to be an interesting future.
You're gaming.
Okay, whatever. Last bit of news. From the creators of The Witcher, CD Projekt Red.
Really good game, by the way, The Witcher.
Amazing.
Even the DLC was amazing for that game.
So, honestly, that's one of, probably in my opinion, one of the best RPGs ever made.
I could co-sign with that.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You know what it is, though? It's the characters in that game.
You love them all.
Yes.
And it's so funny because it's a game, and I really want to get into the topic after this, though, and I think you'll agree with me with this. It's a game that you are so used to RPGs, there being a good and a bad. And while you're helping people and making these decisions, you find out, wow, no one's good or bad in this world. It's all gray hats. Yeah. I helped this guy, but I screwed that guy over. Yeah. Who really didn't.
And it's honestly, in your opinion, who deserves it more or not. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I love that about the game.
I'm sorry, you said Witcher. I got really excited.
No,
let's get
your
news, buddy.
Yeah. So the next game from them is Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Yes, this is going to be a futuristic RPG. Apparently, the classes for the game have leaked. So I'm going to go over the classes right now. We have Cop, Corporate.
I wonder. No, that was a terrible joke. I'm like, in my head, I thought it was good. Cop, corporate.
Fixer, which will be an information broker.
All right.
Media, reporters, news person. Netrunner, which will be hackers.
I bet that one's going to get filled up by the nerds.
Nomad, which will be a road warrior.
That's going to be me.
Rocker Boy, rebel rockers who use music to fight authority
That'll be you.
and revolt. Solo, assassins,
Never mind,
bodyguards.
That's going to be you. It's Solo.
Okay. Techist, I actually forgot the T at the very end, which are renegade mechanics. And the last one is medtech, which are street doctors. Now, I don't know if all these are going to be playable.
Yeah.
A lot of them sound like that's what the NPCs are going to be as well. You know, people just run it.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. Like, how do you make a news reporter into a playable cast? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing I was wondering. If these are all classes in the game that you can actually play as, does this game actually make you live a life?
Well, that'd be weird.
Think about it. You have to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, some of these jobs sound very combat-oriented and stuff like that. But what if there's alternate ways to be in the game as a news reporter? What if your job is to go out, find out this information, and then
Follow the news.
and then report it?
Interesting. I don't know, but I don't know. I couldn't see that because then you'd have like 40,000 be one class and like 2 news reporters. You know what I mean? Going on.
I agree. Some of them do sound less
Like I said, I feel like
appealing.
if I like just reading it off, I'd be like, oh, I would want to pick the Nomad class. On that.
Nomad does sound really cool. I wouldn't mind maybe the cop, depending on what exactly it consists of. Have you seen the trailer for Cyberpunk 2077?
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm going to have to show you that. That's a really awesome trailer.
You're an awesome trailer.
And the main character that you see in the trailer, I believe, is a cop. So the way that he's portrayed and all, I really think would be a cool class to be as well. So what's something you want to see? This is very futuristic. What is something you personally wouldn't mind seeing maybe be a class, even if it's just something in your own head that you've always just wanted in a game?
I don't know. I mean, they pretty much hit everything that I really want out of here. Out of the classes, you got your assassin, you got your, I don't know, maybe like a Black Ops kind of for them. That fall under assassin. No.
See, that's the problem I was running into as well. They use very broad things, so it's kind of hard, because I really wouldn't mind someone with like twin blades that was focused more on melee than guns and all.
Right.
But I felt like that would fall under maybe the assassin or the nomad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, are you excited for this?
Absolutely. If it's made by the people that made The Witcher, I'm good, man.
Yeah. Same here. I trust that company. They did such a good job with The Witcher.
Yeah. They could announce they're making a Teletubby game. RPG, you know what I mean? You gotta like go to the sun baby, worship him. I'm like, I'm giving it a chance, see where it goes. You know what I mean? Probably be an amazing game. So
I'm hoping. I'm really looking forward to it. If you have not checked out the trailer for this game, and if you're listening, please check it out. It definitely looks interesting. I'm super excited for it. The trailer actually will also be in our video version of the podcast that will go up. So anyone who doesn't have a chance to view it themselves, you can feel free when you're viewing this podcast, you will see that, as well as the Kingdom Hearts trailer with the Toy Story stuff.
I'm so excited for that game.
I'm going to have that in as well. But that's it for the news. Let's get into the
recommendations.
Yeah, enthusiast recommendation.
Yes.
My
enthusiast picks.
Enthusiast picks.
You get the name right for the 3rd week in a row. Listen, you came up with this concept. Why am I helping you along with this?
I don't know.
So tired. It's ridiculous.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, but as for the enthusiast picks, this time I actually decided to go with a game.
Ooh. First time we're doing a game. I like this. So book, movie, and a game now.
Yes, we have one of each almost so far. So I really wanted to pick a game that I thought people should check out, and that's going to be No Kuni, because of No Kuni 2 coming out and it getting delayed. If you have a PS4, No Kuni is on PlayStation now.
Okay.
So there is a way for you to play it if you have a PS4. And if you have a PS3, I think it's a good enough game. And you can probably find it pretty cheap, pre-owned or something like that. I think people should really give it a try. It's an interesting RPG, and it has that Pokemon mechanic behind it where you're catching these things called familiars. They evolve and they become stronger. But it's a really in-depth RPG. It has a lot of heart in it, and it really hits you with the feels, too, really early on. if you have a chance, I highly recommend checking that out. And if you really enjoy it, check it out on the PS4 for part 2.
Fair enough. Maybe I will.
I hope so. Probably not. I actually have one more thing before we sign out.
Okay.
The enthusiasts are going to be doing our first ever giveaway.
What?
Yes.
We're doing a giveaway.
Yes, we are.
Can I win it?
I actually, I'll talk to you about that after.
Fair enough.
You cannot win it,
Oh.
but hold on. So the enthusiasts there's a game coming out called Fortnite. We will be giving out a digital copy of Fortnite.
Word.
For the PS4, and if you have it for the PS4, actually, it will also work on PC. So if you're someone who doesn't play on PlayStation, but you're a PC gamer, it will still benefit
I'm
you.
really excited about that game, actually.
Unfortunately, we will not have a code for Xbox, but
We hate Xbox.
but if you're interested in the game, please. This is how the contest is going to work. The next video for this podcast, which will be this episode, has to hit 100 likes. If it hits 100 likes, it'll the contest will continue. Your way of entering then will also be leaving one comment down below with which class from Fortnite you want to play with hashtag Fortnite and hashtag contest.
Alright.
At the end, by next week's episode, the winner will be announced, and I will send them their code for the game.
Fair enough. It's exciting.
Yes,
Exciting.
this is actually pretty exciting. I hope you guys. So please.
Here's an option. Can I hit like 100 times, enter my name in, and win the code?
Well, the like has to be at 100. It can't be because every time you like, they don't keep adding up.
Yes.
Unfortunately. So please share the video. Hopefully, we, as the enthusiasts, we'd like to hit our next milestone. I think this is a fun way for everyone to hit it. And maybe you guys can get something good out of it as well, not just us.
Fair enough.
But this is episode 32
32.
of The Enthusiast.
Make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Oh,
Yeah.
nailed it!
Got 'em all.
Got 'em all this time. Always a pleasure. Once again, if you guys have any comments, make sure you leave them down below.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't like making fun of Zabo by myself. Join in the fun, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's fun to pick on him. He likes it. That's what he lives for.
I do. I feed off.
You feed off of it. That's right. Always hit that like button because no one likes a person that dislikes things. You know what I mean? Negative Nancy.
Yes.
You will.
But this has been episode 32 of The Enthusiast, and we are gone.
Peace.
Yes, good. Now you're getting it.